Hello everyone, and welcome back to...
That was too slow.
Too slow?
Too slow, yeah.
Okay.
He's losing his balance.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to your favorite show for all things gaming and rarely tech related, Gentoo. I'm Austin Claypool, one of your hosts for Gentoo. It's a new semester, and I'm excited to announce who will be co-hosting with me this season. So, without further ado, I'm happy to announce that Garrett Bevans will be joining me. Welcome, Garrett.
What's up? I'm Garrett, and
And we don't need to dwell on that too long. Let's jump right into this week's gaming news.
You suck at parking.
First up, we have You Suck at Parking. You Suck at Parking is the only racing game where the goal is to stop, eventually. Drive, drift, and park in this simple and accessible, yet challenging game where parking is more important than your driving skills. Collect cars, learn new mechanics, challenge the world, and customize your ride in this ever-evolving parking simulator. You Suck at Parking releases September 14th on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, S, Nintendo Switch, and PC.
Another game coming out this week is Wayward Strand. Wayward Strand is a heartfelt story told in a curious way. Hop aboard on an airborne hospital and meet its fully voiced cast of eclectic characters. As time passes on, for everyone on board, explore the interwoven lives of the patients and staff. Characters don't wait around to interact with you, so discover new things with this replayable story. Wayward Strand releases on September 15th on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Nintendo Switch.
And that's the big news for this week of Gentoo. You can check out those games down in the description. And make sure to like this episode and subscribe to catch future episodes.
Now it's time for packs. First up is Wii-Views with Austin Claypool.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Wii-Views, the show where I dive deep into my favorite childhood Wii games and give you my personal review. As always, I'm your host, Austin Claypool, and this week we'll be barreling our way through Donkey Kong Country Returns. First released back in late 2010, this 2.5D side-scrolling platformer title is the fourth in the Donkey Kong Country series, and it's a reboot, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The people at Retro Studios knew what worked and what didn't work with popular platforming titles. I mean, this is the same studio that worked on multiple Metroid titles, like Metroid Prime Hunters, for example. This reboot does justice to the classic Donkey Kong gameplay style. Everything from gameplay to graphics, and especially the music, was nailed to perfection. I mean, recording the gameplay for this episode was actually a lot of fun, and I definitely can't say that about every title. Anyway, enough talk already. Let's get into the details about what makes this game great. Co-op gameplay. Let's start off with the co-op nature of the gameplay. Obviously, this game can be played in co-op mode with one player controlling DK and the other playing as Diddy Kong. While Diddy Kong is smaller than Donkey Kong, he has a jetpack that allows you to hover and cover large gaps. To share this awesome ability, Diddy can hop on DK's back and they can fly together. The best part about all this is that this teamwork ability carries over to the single player mode. The difference being you only get Diddy's help if your HP is 3 hearts or more. Music. As we should all know by now, Nintendo makes some kick-ass music and background themes. So of course, Donkey Kong Country Returns had to pop off with an amazing soundtrack. I mean, this is the music that plays before you even get into the game. Talk about setting the mood for an awesome guerrilla ground-pounding adventure, am I right? Bosses. Speaking of ground pounding, that is your primary means of attack. Well, that and smashing all 800 pounds of Donkey Kong on top of your enemies, erasing them from existence. But anyway, the bosses are a good change of pace from the traditional side-scroller levels. They range in difficulty from, wow, this is easy, to, this is a little challenging. but for the most part it's just the right level of difficulty. Except for these crabs. Stupid crabs. Anywho, that's all the time I've got for this review. Make sure to tune in next week for yet another episode of Wii-Views. And leave a comment down below. How many members are in the Kong family? Thanks for watching.
Unlike other organizations on and around campus, here, the students do it all.
KNWT is a student-run and student-produced television station.
To support this content and Northwest Media students,
You can go to our YouTube channel at KNWT Channel 8.
and watch the latest shows or even enjoy blasts from the past.
We are everywhere you are, yet never seen. We are powered by passion and creativity. We are visionaries turning shared ideas into reality. We capture moments and spotlight student media through commercials, behind the scenes, and more. We are the backbone and brains for all of your media needs. So who are we?
I knight you an official knight and host of Gentoo. Host Garrett. You may rise.
Thank you.
I said rise, not speak. On to the next pack.
Hello everyone and welcome back to The Rundown. I'm your host Garrett as always, and this year we're starting off strong and swinging because up first we have MLB The Show 2022. With me having a summer internship through a local college wood bat league called the Quincy Gems, I thought I'd like to highlight on the game that I covered all summer. While there are multiple game modes within the game itself, I want to highlight on the main ones that I had a ton of fun playing and on the main highlights for all the people playing MLB The Show. So let's get right into it. My favorite game mode by far in MLB The Show is Road to the Show. This is basically your career mode. You start from the minor leagues and have to grind your way up to the big leagues. And when I mean grind, I mean you have to grind. I've been playing the game frequently all summer and I'm still at the AAA level. However, if my batting ERA is anything to go off of, don't be too surprised. Train your player for speed, pitching, power, and much more. With you working hard, you'll have great moments like this.
Oh, this ball is crushed into left.
Baseball cards have been a staple for sports fans for decades. They're collectible, cool, and you can even make your own dream team with them. And that's exactly what the Diamond Dynasty game mode is, your baseball card building ultimate team. First, start off by creating your own team. From there, play baseball moments to help build and make your team better. Some of these challenges would include pitching 3 perfect innings, steal 4 bases in 2 innings, and hitting back-to-back home runs. Completing these challenges unlock better gear and better players for your team. However, for a baseball casual like myself, I have found this game mode to be very difficult. These challenges do not mess around and are kind of punishing if you don't know what you're doing. The last game mode I like to highlight on is March to October. As we all know, baseball has a long season, and with those long seasons come great moments. March to October highlights your favorite team's journey to the World Series, if you can get them there. With some similar moments to Diamond Dynasty, you play moments instead of the whole entire ball game. Since I'm a Cardinals fan, I took over in the 6th inning and absolutely dominated the Pirates with home run after home run after home run and after home run.
Fly ball, pretty well struck right field. Way back there.
Before I wrap things up here for the first episode of the Rundown for this season, I'd like to highlight on something kind of unique, that I find unique anyway, for MLB The Show 2022. I'm a big fan of how it feels like a real broadcast. For instance, I play as the Kansas City Royals in these following clips, and if you choose a Kansas City broadcast, it highlights on, of course, the Royals and not the other team. I also like how on the opening day they have certain graphics and make it kind of feel more personable for you as a player. I know it's kind of small, but I think it's a cool inclusion for the game. And that does it for MLB The Show 2022. Welcome back to the Rundown here on Gentoo. If you like what you see, maybe leave a like, and hey, subscribe if you want, so you'll be ready for next week's great content. As always, I'm your host Garrett Bevans, signing off. Have a good one.
Hey guys, this is Patty Plays. My weekly pack is going to be me doing challenges on Fortnite. Today's challenge is round loot only, so I can't get any heals or weapons from chests. I can only pick up items from the floor. The first game, I land just south of Rocky Reels. After looting, I hear people fighting. I get a couple hits on him before he jumps over the edge of the roof, and I get the elimination. I then head north to Rocky Reels, where I see a guy healing up. I get a few shots on him. He, of course, has a boogie bomb and just absolutely destroys me after I get him down to 16 HP. The next game, I decide to land at Tilted, and almost as soon as I land, I have a guy trying to eliminate me. I impulse myself to get some cover and try to find some heals. I heal up and I hear the guy trying to run after me, so I jump over the ledge and meet him in the stairs where I get the elimination. I then head to the north side of Tilted, where I can hear a guy charging up his charge SMG. I somehow pull off this elimination with just 9 HP left. I then head towards the middle of Tilted and meet a guy in a building, and he shreds me. The next game, I land at Shifty Shafts, and 2 guys are already chasing me right after I land. I somehow escape and see a guy looting. I get a few shots on him before he decides to glide away. There was nobody else in sight, so I decided to hop in a car and drive over towards Rave Cave. I hear a guy gliding, and he, of course, lands on me, gets his shots on me, and eliminates me. The next game, I decide to land at Coney Crossroads, where I get some shots on this guy. He decides to use a shield bubble, so I decide to rush him. I boogie bombed him, got some good shots on him, and got the elimination. I then hear people fighting near the gas station. I try to rush them, but get absolutely demolished. My last attempt at this challenge, I decide to land near Reality Falls. I hear people fighting in a tree, so I decide to head up and try to get the eliminations. I wind up getting both guys and decide to glide over to Tilted. I try to sneak up on a team fighting and get shot and eliminated from behind. This challenge was very difficult, and I'm not excited to see what my challenge is for next week, but if you are, you should tune in to the next week's episode.
And cut. Well, folks, we've had a lot of changes this season. I mean, look at me. I used to be the lovable rookie, but now I run the whole operation. But no matter what changes, this will always be Nerd Central, your one-stop shop for all things nerd. And let me introduce you to the new era of Nerd Central. We already have a case of mannequin disease.
This week on Channel 8 News, we'll be looking at 2 massive tragedies that shook the world. The Bearcats' hot winning streak in football, volleyball, and more.
For stories that matter to you, catch new episodes of Channel 8 News every Monday at 2 p.m. right here on our YouTube page at KNWT TV.
Hello and welcome back to one of the most beautiful games that I have ever had the privilege of playing. We are back in Farming Simulator 22. Brand new updates, plenty of patches, and oh god, it's happening again. I guess welcome back to Task Failed Successfully, the show where I play games as incorrectly as possible, and we have the winter update in Farming Simulator 22, complete with snow, bug fixes, and whatever this is. On this episode, I wanted to take a look at some of the new winter features in Farming Simulator 22, as well as revisit some of the footage that got cut from Episode 1. Those unfortunate clips that, while being hilarious, didn't necessarily fit the storyline, like getting sandwiched between a train and the edge of the map, and getting launched 60 feet into the air. This was actually the first clip I ever recorded for this series when I realized just how broken this game actually was, and little did I know that it would become an entire series. Now, one of the most cursed vehicles that I've been able to find in this game is the scooter. And while not great on a farm, it is great for getting stuck inside the fence line, and the game braking only increases from there. At this point, I was completely stuck, could not turn left or right, could somehow clip through the bottom of the world, and could still drive a little bit forwards and backwards. So my plan to get out was to trade places with player 2, go get a golf cart, and just ram it as hard as I could directly into the scooter. However, when I did that, I realized it had duplicated player 2, and we now had a stationary clone that was permanently stuck in our game. My idea was correct, and ramming the scooter with a golf cart does eventually get you unstuck, so unless you consider that a game-breaking glitch, the scooter's a whole lot of fun. I will add that I continued to try to break the scooter and realized that scooter physics are very much not a thing. So we were just getting started. I recorded this during the Winter Olympics and realized I could probably recreate some of these events inside the game using the scooter. Obviously, I went for the ski jump by clipping a couple ramps together. And by a couple, I mean 37 to be exact. And I now had a ski jump that I could almost jump over an entire baseball field. Just had to get to the top. Just had to get to the top, and then we could see just how far we could send this scooter into orbit. Really, 19 miles an hour is where we're going to top out. Oh, that's not going to do. Future Adam, make this more exciting, please. Okay, the scooter, that was lame. I swear to God, nothing I do ever works. I don't even know why I do this pack. We should have gone with the ATV the entire time. Max speed of 74 miles per hour, and as long as the AI doesn't do something stupid, and of course the AI does something stupid, but already I'm feeling way better about this jump. We should be able to hit this at max speed, and maybe even able to have some distance. Holy sh**, we did it, guys. First time in Task Failed Successfully history, we failed to fail a task. So of course the next step was to ramp this up, with 18 more ramps, and a lot more steering issues. Like, a lot more steering issues. But I am nothing if not persistent, so of course, I will try this until I get it. At about my 13th try not making it down the ramp, I decided it was time for something else entirely, a sports car. With a top speed of 124 miles per hour, the ability to actually steer down the ramp, I knew this was going to be my best jump yet. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but we actually completed 2 things in an episode of Task Failed Successfully. So as the sun set, it was time for the medal ceremony. So as I start to wrap up this episode of Task Failed Successfully, I want to leave you with a few words of wisdom I learned from Farming Simulator. Number 1, don't throw yourself off a pile of boats just because you can. Number 2, don't get yourself stuck between a rock and a hard place. Number 3, don't ride scooters, like, ever. And number 4, don't accidentally clone yourself. For Task Failed Successfully, I'm Adam Bochart, and we'll see you next time.
And that's the first week down. Nice job, Garrett.
Yeah, thanks, Austin. You too. Same time next week.
Oh, you bet. Make sure to ring that bell and subscribe to not miss future episodes.
While this is all we have this week, make sure you go check out the other shows on KNWT.
Or watch some old episodes.